DreamWorks villains were never supposed to feel this unhinged. But looking back, these weren't just bad guys.
Pretty boss flamethrower, right?
They were disasters, each wearing a different personality, and somehow each one got worse in a completely new way. Drago Bludvist.
Tear them apart.
He is the kind of villain who walks in looking like he fought a dragon, lost badly, and then made that everybody else's problem. But this dude doesn't just want revenge, he wants to commit mass enslavement and conquest because a reptile bit him once. That's like stepping on a Lego and deciding to nuke the entire toy factory. Proportionally, it makes zero sense. But emotionally, you kind of get it.
Vowed to rise above the fear of dragons.
Drago isn't scary because he's strong. He's scary because he's right, at least in his own head. And that's what makes him dangerous. He genuinely believes dragons are a plague that needs to be wiped out.
So he who controls the Alpha.
And the worst part? He has the charisma to make others believe it too. Now, the moment that truly defines his terror isn't when he's throwing ships around or riding that massive bewilderbeast. It's the quiet stuff.
Strength of will over others.
Watch how he manipulates the battlefield. He doesn't just attack Hiccup physically, he gets inside his skull. He forces Hiccup to watch his beloved dragon get mind-controlled, turning his best friend into a weapon that murders his own father right in front of him.
Not yours anymore. He belongs to the Alpha.
He isn't just swinging a sword here and there, he's swinging psychological warfare, and he lands every single hit. A dragon can burn a village, but Drago can burn the confidence right out of you. And that kind of damage leads perfectly into Tai Lung. Tai Lung.
So where is this Poe?
If Drago is about control, Tai Lung is about rejection, turning into a full-body workout of rage. At first, Tai Lung looks like the usual rejected student villain with anger issues and excellent cardio. You probably thought, just another kung fu bad guy who wants revenge because he didn't get the shiny scroll. Which, yeah, technically that's the plot.
I don't want your apology. I want my scroll.
The deeper problem is that the scroll is not really the wound. Shifu is. Tai Lung isn't just mad about a scroll. He's mad because the one person he trusted most, his father figure, Shifu, raised him to believe he was destined for greatness.
Who drove me to train until my bones cracked? Who denied me my destiny?
But when Master Oogway saw darkness in him and denied him the scroll, Shifu did nothing to defend him. That's not a villain origin story. That's a therapy bill waiting to happen.
What? Where is it?
Everyone's felt that sting of rejection, that moment when you realize you weren't good enough. But most of us don't respond by leveling an entire valley with our bare paws. He does, and the specific behavior that makes him truly chilling?
Oh no!
Watch the prison escape sequence again, the moment he grabs that single feather and starts picking the lock while completely immobilized. Pure genius. He's smart, and from there he just plays with the guards. He calculates every move like a chess grandmaster, using explosives, falling boulders, and incoming arrows against his captors. And he does it all with this eerie calmness. Smart villains are always clinical.
He's a panda. You're a panda. What are you gonna do, big guy? Sit on me?
Tai Lung wants the world to admit he was special. But Jack Horner is worse because he does not need pain, destiny, or rejection to be horrible. Jack Horner.
Little Jack Horner didn't have any magic. He was
Then we get Jack Horner, a man shaped like a nursery rhyme and powered entirely by bad decisions. This absolute menace in a powdered wig. Jack looks harmless in the way a birthday cake with a knife inside looks harmless.
Make with the map, or we'll see what the unicorn horn really does.
He's pudgy, he's got that smug little smirk, and he carries around a magical staff that shoots unicorn horns. Sounds goofy, right? Wrong. This man is an unhinged nightmare wrapped in velvet. Jack Horner isn't evil because he's traumatized or misunderstood. He's evil because hurting people is just background noise to him.
You know, I never had much as a kid. Just loving parents, stability, and a mansion, and a thriving baked goods enterprise for me to inherit.
That's it. No tragic backstory, no dead parents, no revenge arc. He just woke up one day and decided, you know what, I want to be the most powerful being in the universe, and I don't care who I have to kill to get there. And honestly, that's way more terrifying than any tortured villain with daddy issues. Because you can't reason with boredom.
For the cats to steal the map and then kill them? Or do I just kill everybody all at once?
You can't appeal to someone's humanity when they never had anything to begin with. His brand of casual malice hits hardest when you look at how he treats his own crew.
Help! Well, you know what they say. Can't bake a pie without losing a dozen men.
There's a scene where he casually shoots one of his own guys with a crossbow. Not because he made a mistake, but simply because he felt like it. No hesitation, no remorse. Just a shrug and a one-liner. And then he keeps walking as if nothing happened. That's the kind of coldness that makes your skin crawl.
Help me, Jack!
Aren't you gonna help him, Jack?
Really stressing about the manpower? I've got a bottomless bag of magic weapons.
Jack is random cruelty in a fancy coat. But Lord Shen takes cruelty and makes it elegant, calm, and somehow even more disturbing. Lord Shen.
Find this panda and bring him to me.
Yes, sir.
He does not enter like a normal villain. He glides in like trauma-learned ballet. Lord Shen is probably the most stylish villain DreamWorks has ever created, and I mean that literally. The guy moves like a ballet dancer, speaks like a Shakespearean actor,
That night.
and commits war crimes like he's checking items off a grocery list. On the surface, he's beautiful. Underneath, he's a walking, feathery red flag with a god complex and a canon addiction.
How many times do I have to kill the same stinking panda?
Here's what makes Shen genuinely terrifying. He's self-aware. Most villains think they're the hero of their own story. Shen knows exactly what he is. He knows he's a monster, and he doesn't care. In fact, he embraces it.
When all of China is my reward.
He doesn't try to justify his actions with some noble cause or twisted logic. He just looks you dead in the eye and unapologetically owns his darkness.
The year of the peacock begins now.
Right.
But let's get to the specific behavior that defines his terror. The canons make him powerful, but the real horror is how calmly he weaponizes Poe's trauma. When they finally confront each other, he drops a line meant to hollow Poe out from the inside.
Your parents didn't love you, but here, let me heal you.
He doesn't say it with anger or pride. He says it with this weird, almost melancholy calmness, like he's telling Poe about the weather. The way he sits there, watching Poe's emotional collapse like he's studying a lab rat, that's pure psychological torture.
Panda, we meet. Hey, how you doing?
Shen breaks people with history and guilt, while Titan proves that sometimes the scariest villain is just a rejected loser with too much power. Titan.
No, I was thinking more like the morgue. You're dead!
Whoa.
And then there is Titan, the human warning label for why superpowers should come with a personality test. He's basically that dude in high school who got rejected by his crush and decided to make it everyone's problem. Except instead of writing sad poetry in his notebook, he's throwing skyscrapers at people. The name itself is already embarrassing.
It's Titan.
Thank you.
Oh, I wouldn't say free. More like under new management.
You're a supervillain with god-tier abilities, and you chose Titan, not Titan. Titan. Like a jar lid. Come on, buddy, he's just a regular guy who got handed unlimited power and immediately turned into a petty, whiny, vindictive monster. And that's the frightening part, because he represents what a lot of people would actually become if they suddenly could do whatever they wanted.
This is the real world, and you need to wake up.
No restraint, no humility. Just pure, unfiltered ego. The apartment scene is where the joke completely dies. It's not when he's destroying Metro City, it's that scene where he corners Roxanne in her apartment.
What's your name? Just kidding, I know everything about you. Oh, and I brought some flowers.
He doesn't just threaten her physically, he gets creepy. He invades her personal space, tries to force her to love him, and when she rejects him, his face shifts from desperate to dangerous in about half a second. That switch is horrifying because it's so real.
No matter what side you're on, you're always the loser.
We've all encountered someone who can't handle rejection, but most of them don't have heat vision. Titan is dangerous because he feels small, but General Kai is dangerous because he wants everyone else to become smaller than him. General Kai?
Pathetic fools. Groveling at the feet of Oogway the...
He arrives like the final boss of a gym membership you forgot to cancel 500 years ago. But here's the thing that makes him different from every other DreamWorks villain. He's patient, ancient, and completely obsessed with turning legends into trophies.
He is strong, just like your friend, the bug.
This guy has been stuck in the spirit realm for 500 years, and when he finally breaks out, his first move is to start collecting Kung Fu masters like they're Pokemon cards. Gotta catch 'em all, I guess. Kai is intimidating because he approaches everything as if it's a game.
I will show you the true power of Chi, brother.
He doesn't hate Po. He doesn't even hate Kung Fu. He just wants to be the strongest being in existence, and he'll absorb anyone, literally anyone, to get there. No grudge, no emotional baggage. Just pure, cold ambition. And that's way scarier than some guy screaming about revenge.
With your Chi, I will finally be able to return to the mortal world.
The horror isn't just that Kai wins. It's the sickeningly casual way he takes his victories. He doesn't just beat his opponents, he steals their chi. He turns them into lifeless, glowing medallions that he casually hangs from his belt like souvenirs. And the worst part? He's smiling the whole time. He's just dancing around, dodging attacks, and draining the life out of people like he's sipping a smoothie. That casual cruelty is what makes him stick with you. Kai collects power like trophies, but Pitch Black goes after something even harder to fight: fear itself. Pitch Black.
So sweet. So full of hope.
That never gets old.
He does not need to kick down the door. He just waits in the corner until the room feels unsafe. Pitch's design already feels like a nightmare that learned posture. But here's the thing. He's scary because of what he represents. He's the fear that lives under your bed, the unease you feel when you turn off the lights, the whisper in your ear that says you're completely alone. That kind of fear does not need claws. It already lives in your room.
You'll protect them. But who'll protect you?
Pitch isn't evil because he wants power or revenge. He's evil because he needs to be believed in. That's his whole deal. The Guardians get their strength from children's belief in wonder and magic. Pitch gets his from fear. And when do children stop being afraid of the dark? He starts to fade away.
All those years in the shadows, I thought no one else knows what this feels like.
So he doesn't just want to defeat the Guardians, he wants to erase them. He wants to make sure no one believes in anything good ever again. That's an existential crisis wearing a cloak. Forget the giant sand horses or the flashy shadow manipulation. Pitch is at his worst when he's standing in a child's bedroom. It's that scene where he visits Jamie's room. He doesn't attack, he doesn't threaten. He just sits there in the corner, watching, waiting. And then he whispers, "I'm not real? Tell that to your heart when it's pounding out of your chest." He gets inside Jamie's head, plants that seed of doubt, and leaves him paralyzed with fear.
Finally! Someone who knows how to have a little fun.
Pitch turns fear into a weapon, but King Ramesses shows us a quieter horror. Pride that refuses to bend even when everything is falling apart. King Ramesses.
Saw what happened. I just killed a man.
We can take care of that. I will make it so it never happened.
He is not scary because he looks monstrous. He is scary because he looks painfully human. He's got the whole "I'm literally worshipped by millions" thing going on, which definitely messes with your head.
Still, a pharaoh speaks.
But here's what makes him different from every other arrogant ruler in animation. He's not stupid. He's not blinded by pride in the typical cartoon villain way. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he chooses to do it anyway because he genuinely believes he's untouchable. And that kind of arrogance, that's the kind that gets people killed.
Change what you see. I have to maintain the ancient tradition.
Every terrible choice still looks heartbreaking. He loves Moses. He really does. But he loves his power and his father's legacy more.
I am the morning and the evening star.
Ramesses.
And that internal conflict, the way you can see him almost change his mind before doubling down, is what makes him so chilling. Now, the moment that defines his terror, it's not the plagues, it's that quiet, devastating scene in the Dark Temple after the final plague has taken his firstborn son. As he places a funeral shroud over his child, he turns to Moses with a completely broken, cold resignation and whispers, "You and your people, go."
Can't things be the way they were before?
There's no anger left in his voice. Just a hollowed-out soul who would rather let his empire crumble to ash than bend his knee. Ramesses is trapped by pride, but Death is not trapped by anything because he is the one thing every character is eventually running toward. Death.
Because Puss in Boots laughs in the face of death.
He does not feel like a villain entering the story. He feels like the story suddenly remembering the rules of life. Death, because apparently just calling him the Wolf wasn't intimidating enough, is what happens when DreamWorks decides to stop playing around and actually reminds us that we're all going to die someday.
What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes?
Death does not need a complicated design. A whistle, 2 sickles, and those red eyes do the job. He's the end of the road. The credits are rolling on your life. And he shows up looking like he just stepped out of a heavy metal album cover. You can't fight him. You can't bribe him. You can't reason with him. He doesn't want your gold, your power, or your revenge. He just wants what's owed to him. And the worst part? He enjoys it.
Lives flashing before your eyes?
That low, menacing whistle he does? That's him having fun. He's savoring the hunt like a fine wine. His first bar scene is where the movie quietly removes the safety net. No dramatic entrance. No explosion. Just a shadow in the corner, a flicker of red eyes, and a bone-chilling challenge. He kicks Puss's blade and whispers, "Pick it up," forcing the legendary hero to bleed for the very first time. Death hunts with patience and certainty, while Eris plays a completely different game, one where everyone else is just entertainment. Eris.
Thinking big enough, Sinbad.
She floats into the movie like chaos discovered good lighting and decided to make it everyone's problem. She's got the whole ethereal goddess thing going on, floating around, shimmering gold dust, looking absolutely stunning in that flowing cloak. But don't let the pretty packaging fool you.
You were holding your breath.
This woman is pure, unfiltered chaos wrapped in a smile. She's not here to destroy the world, she's here to mess with it. And honestly, that's way more infuriating.
Time for some screaming.
Most villains have a clear goal: power, revenge, control. Eris doesn't want any of that. She treats human suffering like improv theater. For Eris, morality is not a rule book. It is a toy she keeps bending to see who snaps first.
Oh, this is just too easy.
She creates conflict the way you or I would scroll through streaming apps, just looking for something entertaining to pass the time. Her cruelty peeks through a brilliant act of psychological framing.
Proteus couldn't help being ever so noble, and you couldn't help betraying him.
Stealing the Book of Peace herself, and deliberately leaving Sinbad's signature dagger at the crime scene. She forces him into a death sentence, setting up an impossible game of high-stakes survival just to see if he'll crumble under the pressure. And the way she watches the world tear itself apart, that smug little smirk, those knowing eyes, she doesn't even need to lift a finger.
Do the book for ransom, and you'll be rich enough to lounge on an island beach.
She just manipulates people into destroying each other, then sits back and enjoys the show. Eris manipulates people for fun, but Grimmel removes the fun completely and replaces it with cold, professional precision. Grimmel, the Grizzly.
How go your plans to conquer the world?
He does not look like the loudest villain in the room, and that is exactly what makes him uncomfortable. But here's what makes him genuinely unsettling. He has the emotional warmth of a locked basement and the patience of a man who already knows where you'll run. He treats dragon hunting like a science experiment, and everyone else is just a variable he can control or eliminate.
I am the Night Fury killer. I've hunted every last one but yours.
He doesn't charge into battle screaming. He doesn't rely on brute strength or magical powers. He studies his prey. He is the alpha predator who proudly hunted every single Night Fury into near extinction. Now, the specific moment that defines his terror? It's when he invades Hiccup's home. He casually reveals how he's been tracking the sudden, chaotic rise of Burke's dragon utopia, proving he understands Hiccup's peaceful ideology better than Hiccup does, and plans to use that very kindness to destroy them.
What if word of your misguided ideas were to spread? It would be the undoing of civilization as...
The way he delivers his threats like he's calmly discussing the weather is absolutely chilling. He doesn't see Hiccup as a worthy opponent. He sees him as a puzzle he's already solved.
Kill every last one, bringing real peace to the people of this world.
Grimmel studies his enemies until they become predictable, but the chameleon takes it further. She does not just study people, she steals them. The chameleon.
I forgive, but I never forget.
He is the kind of villain who proves that copying someone can be much creepier than killing them. At first, the chameleon feels like a trick villain. Disguise, mimicry, surprise reveal, done. But here's the thing.
You were right, Shen. He was an easy mark.
Shen!
She doesn't just copy how they look, she copies their moves, their skills, their entire fighting style. She's basically a walking plagiarism lawsuit waiting to happen. The chameleon is unsettling because she has no identity of her own. She's so desperate to be someone else that she's completely lost herself in the process. And that desperation, that's what makes her dangerous. She's not fighting for a cause or seeking revenge, she's fighting for validation. She wants to prove she's good enough to exist. And when someone's that desperate, they'll do absolutely anything.
The chameleon, I do nothing but change.
Only on the outside.
It's not when she's mimicking Poe. It's that moment when she drops the disguise and you see her real face. That flicker of insecurity. That desperate need to be seen.
All I've done for you. You betrayed me for the panda!
She spent so long pretending to be other people that there's nothing left of her. And honestly, that's way more unsettling than any angry warlord with a grudge. And that is why she is such a disturbing final stop. After warlords, gods, hunters, and death itself, DreamWorks still finds one last nightmare, the villain who does not want to beat you, but become you. DreamWorks didn't just give us villains. They gave us childhood trauma with excellent animation. Some were loud, some were calm, some were funny, and some looked directly into your soul like they already knew your browser history. Let me know which DreamWorks villain scared you the most as a kid, down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the next video on your screen.